Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. With that, we're off to the home of this year's draft back in April, AT&T Stadium in Dallas. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong. Nifty move.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
They go play action here on first down. Randy Gregory in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now it's the Boise State alone, Jay Ajayi. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
Back after offseason rotator cuff surgery is Alshon Jeffrey, who played with the injury all of 2017 and still caught 57 passes for 787 yards and 9 touchdowns. What makes him special? Not just his size, but his athleticism, which was on display, and a brilliant catch for the first touchdown.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. David Irving in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Here's John Ryan now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
I know we were assigned this game, but let's face it, this is the one we wanted, isn't it? A chance to watch an MVP candidate perform down the stretches 4 weeks ago. How are you feeling about his chances?
Well, I think he certainly has a shot. It's going to determine what he does and what the others around him do for these last 4 weeks. But more MVP chatter, it seems like, every year as you hit the month of December. This year's going to be no exception.
Yeah, I know he's not ranked number 1 right now, but if he plays up to his capabilities, I think he's going to win the thing.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game. 2
yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. A shotgun snap for Locke. And that is incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively.
Now that's a great play defensively, and one thing we do know, both of the corners are going to face a lot of action in this game. The way that offense likes to fling it around.
The safeties, they better be ready to be engaged as well. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. There's a handoff to Ajani to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Wentz going to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
The point after is good, and the lead grows to 10-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he'll need to put that interception out of his mind quickly, because between the field goal and the pick 6, they're already looking up at a 2-score differential.
And isn't it interesting that a lot of the time when we talk about having a short memory, we say that's a defensive back, right? Got beat for a touchdown pass, throw it out. Quarterbacks have to do the same thing. They make a mistake, come back and be the best quarterback you were before.
A look now at the starting 11 on defense for Dallas. This crew against the pass, issues at times, ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Wentz, Ertz over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, was his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
He's got his man. That's Wallace. A good pickup there at 22.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. On play action, Wentz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are back within a score. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And some space here. He's at the 50, 30, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. In for the score, and the Cowboys will extend their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with, and they say challenge it, kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Point after try forthcoming. Extra point safely through, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Play action to Sproles. Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
If I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Working from the gun. Wentz goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They start on the ground with Elliott. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They'll fake it. Now Locke. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Throwing on 3rd down. Locke gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. It'll be a gain of 4. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Out of the gun, Locke. He can run for it, and he will. Locke showing he can be dangerous when he tucks and runs. He's able to pick up the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. 17-7 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They come out here in the eye. Now Locke. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Kelvin Benjamin, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Cowboys now. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on the sideline before they go back out. In this case, I think they might need a little bit more time. They want to get to the half and start figuring out how do they change protections, how do they get the ball in the hands of the passer a lot quicker, make sure he doesn't get hit as often, all those different things. Maybe even run the ball a little bit more. Anything to try and tamp down the pressure.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. This one complete to Sproles. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing a run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. Oh, he sheds himself free. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Cowboys. Nick Chubb with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this group that we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. They'll run it to Sproles. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Now it's Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there at 22. On 1st and 10, Locke. On the crossing route, complete. That's Gordon. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play. A 1st down carry by Elliott. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. A look at Darren Sproles as he works his way back onto the field for this next go-around. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? A good pickup there at 22.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help him as they head towards the half.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Now wins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They fake the give. Now wins. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Nick Kwiatkowski in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. Here's John Ryan now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Getting set to go again, we get a peek at Kelvin Benjamin as he heads back out there now. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They're going to go for it here on fourth. Luck in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to go. It's Luck. And that's caught by Beasley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a fourth down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Here's Luck. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Again, Luck. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now a first down throw, Luck. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. To the air again, Luck. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Luck on first down. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Throwing again is Luck. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was the Redskins who get the victory at home. 17-12 was the final. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were victorious in that one over the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. Taywan Taylor, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. Finally, let's get over to Carson, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Giovanni Bernard, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can...
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Returning it, John Ross. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. To throw on second down is Love. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
12.
From the gun on third down, Love. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. They are going for it. It's Love. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the post-mortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you confident in your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And out now come the Cowboys. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, That allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe he'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. They'll try and run for it without him. Oh, now he bowls him over. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
To throw his line. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Love. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
11.
Luck throwing again. Looking middle, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Mike Bennett in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touch.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys add on. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check. but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun now for Wentz. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, it's Locke. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70%...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Chris Long in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. They snap it to Locke. Rolling to his right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the middle. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Well, they were 2 for 3 on 4th down tries. Now they're unsuccessful. That brings them down to 50%.
But that's a percentage you have to feel pretty good about. You know, 2 for 4, and then 2 for 3 before that. They finally get stopped again. That's okay. That's the type of team that will keep pressing. In this situation, they'll continue to go for it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Have a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
No, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Go ahead. Middle.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. The give is to Elliott. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll try the air now with Locke. Trying to lay one up deep. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change it.
Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here's Sproles. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Aguilar has it. And down inside the 15 he goes. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Wentz to throw on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
And Elliott puts this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. A give to Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Again, it's Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On third down, Elliott. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down. On fourth down, Locke. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gordon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Here's Luck now on second down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Luck. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. They also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working from the gun, Wentz. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. This one complete to Sproles. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. They give him a gain of 37. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. But they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing his Wentz. Hauled in by Wheaton over the middle. And the nimble footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Let's go.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing now is Wentz. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season
December.
of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold it.
Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3rd and long. It's locked. And that's caught by Beasley. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Throwing now. Luck. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing is Luck. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down. Here's Luck. A dump off to Elliott. And he loses the football a second time. And the Eagles have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, the win form is number 6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.